your snails will be dying left, right, center, back. Clearly, outstretched, you have overly outstretched the farm. How can you stock 2,000 pieces, 7 by 3, 2 units of that? How can you stock 2,000? You have just outstretched your farm. This is something you should stay away from. You see, you should know your maximum capacity, and you should know the capacity in which you are ready to stock for point of lay snails. There is always a ratio, there is always a density per size that you should follow. You don't have to overstretch your farm. I think when he got home, he noticed that some of the snails have already started laying. And that alone is, I don't know, is giving him so much joy that he's just so unwilling to return some of the snails. But clearly, this. Oh, it's a good morning to you, our lovely viewers. This is snailry-gh. Today, I'm back again to your screens with another update. And today, this video, as always, will be very, very short and brief. An incident occurred last night, that I just woke up this morning and I felt that I had to do a video on this issue. Because I've been trying to reach out to the client, but to no avail. We were out of town to work on few projects, and we returned last night. So we had some stuffs in the car that we had to push to the farm. So I entered. When I entered, I saw this gentleman who was around, and he was buying snails. So I greeted him, he responded, and we started having a conversation as if we already knew ourselves, but we were just talking, and we spoke at length. Afterwards, I had to leave to attend to a few things, but before I left, I asked him the number of pieces he was buying, and he said he was buying 2,000 pieces of point of lace. So we had a fruitful discussion, and I left the scene. So one of my guys were attending to him. So he came in around 6, 5, 6 thereabout, and we came into around 6:37 thereabout. So we met him. We met him there, and afterwards I had left because we had exchanged contact. He called me later in the evening around 8 p.m. that he was home and he was about to stock his farm. So he asked that he has two structures, so he wanted to stock 1,000 apiece. And I said, yes, that's fine. You can just do 1,000 apiece once you have two structures. And he said, okay. So we ended the call, and I forgot about the whole thing. I just attended to my normal duty. So when I go home, it just occurred on me to just call him and find out the size of his structures, because he had bought 2,000 pieces. Clearly, I suppose that he knows what he's doing. And I called him and I asked him the size of his structure, and he said it's 7 by 3. And I'm like, wow, 7 by 3, and you have purchased 2,000 pieces of snails? He said yes. And I asked him, 7 by 3, is it feet or meters? He said feet. When he said feet, I said no. You have bought more than you needed for your farm, because 7 by 3 feet is very small, and you've bought 2,000 pieces. And he said yes, because he wants to keep them for some time, but he will start selling them when they start laying eggs. When he gets a lot of eggs, he will start selling the matured ones. And I said okay, but clearly I pointed out to him that he has already bought more than he needed, and he has overstretched his farm. This is something you should stay away from. You see, you should know your maximum capacity, and you should know the capacity in which you are ready to stock for point of lay snails. There is always a ratio, there is always a density per size that you should follow. You don't have to overstretch your farm. This is one common mistake that a lot of snail farmers do. They always overstretch their farm, and this could lead to a lot of mortalities. You see, in snail farming, you don't want to overstock, you don't want to understock. So you always have to be in between. But when you overstock, you are better off understocking than overstocking. So I told him, look, you have bought more than you needed actually. So what you have to do is return some of the snails for a refund. And he was a bit, I mean, he wasn't ready to do that. So in my mind, I'm like, Oh, he means meters and he's saying feet. Well, he says feet, so I have to go with his word. The whole truth is, we stand to lose nothing when you buy a lot of snails from us. So I told him, look, your snails will be dying left, right, center, back. Clearly, you have overly outstretched the farm. How can you stock 2,000 pieces, 7 by 3, 2 units of that? How can you stock 2,000? You have just outstretched your farm. I think in my subsequent videos, probably maybe I have to touch on the density, the ratio you should stock per each size. I mean, this would help a lot of people when they want to stock, because mind you, these snails you have already put in there, they are laying eggs. The funny thing is, I think one of the reasons why he is very reluctant to bring some of the snails for refund is, I think when he go home, he noticed that some of the snails have already started laying, and that alone is, I don't know, is giving him so much joy that he's just so unwilling to return some of the snails. But clearly, this is too much. You have outstretched your farm. So I have called him several times this morning. He's not picking up my calls. But then again, I there's nothing I can do clearly. And I wanted to do this video to caution people. Yes, it is the right time to stock your farm, because this is the season that snails are laying a lot of eggs. But you see, you don't want to overstock just because you have the money. So please, you stock depending on the size of the structure. Don't do more than your structure can hold. I mean, clearly these snails that you are bringing in, they are going to lay eggs, so they are going to multiply naturally. So you don't have to overstock and you don't have to understock too. It has to be in between. I think I have to do that video on the quantity of snails to stock per, either per square meter, per square foot, or whatever. I think I would have to do a video on that. And also to people who are looking forward to stocking, make sure you really know the size of your structure, and make sure that you are stocking the right quantity of snails, and you should be fine. In as much as it's the right season to stock your farm, please, let's try and do the needful. Let's try and do the right thing. And I'm just hoping this gentleman will call back and return some of the snails, and we give him a refund. But clearly he appears to be unwilling to return some of the snails, basically because he has already started seeing eggs just the first day he bought the snails. But you have to stock the right quantity at your farm. Either than that, you would have challenges. Most of the snails will die. So till I come your way another time, maybe my next or subsequent videos, I will work on that. And now, for now, I'm tired. I have to catch some rest, and I will leave you for now till I come your way another time. It's a bye bye for myself.